There is a saying by Joseph Stalin when he said, "One death is a tragedy. Millions of deaths are statistic." And it is pretty interesting when we think about that because I apply this concept to cities. My whole life I've lived in big cities. First, I was born in a city called Curitiba in Paraná, in Brazil, where I was surrounded by 3 million people. And then I moved to São Paulo, that is just the biggest city in South America. And then I moved to Lisbon, simply the capital of Portugal. So my whole life I have always been surrounded by these big ass buildings, by these big shopping malls, a lot of traffic, a lot of dangerous people around. You need to be careful where we go. And I thought it was normal. For me, this is the average. And it's pretty hard for me to understand all of those people that lives on those small villages in, I don't know, Canada or stuff, or I don't know how to deal with all of those weird small towns that have 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. For me, even a city with 50,000 people is arguably small, because most of my life I've been surrounded by millions. And it got me thinking how I perceive the world around me. Because when I go to work, when I went to school, I was always surrounded by hundreds, thousands of people around me. That for me, I just saw them as NPCs. Like, I didn't understood the fact that they were human beings. Like, they were actually people with lives and experiences, a lot of shit to deal with. When we are surrounded by so many people, our brain can't, if we don't actually try to do it, our brain just can't understand and can't perceive the idea of, okay, there are actually millions of people living around you. Like, oh, what the fuck? Millions of people living around us. And these people are also not our friends. They have their things to do. People in these big cities are running because everything happens so fast. The time is like this. Everything is in small pace. Everything is happening so fast. And we need to understand everything that is happening, and we need to know what to do. We need to know how to deal with it. So how can we actually process life in a small way, in a small pace, when there are millions of people around us running their lives? And because of that, I thought that small towns were perfect to make friends, because if everyone is running, if everyone has no time, if everyone just wants to finish the task they have to do, if anyone is tryharding on achieving their goals, no one has time to make friends, no one has time to other people, no one has time to anything. And my father lives in a very small town with 20,000 people living there. And I thought that for him to make friends was pretty easy, because he just had to go outside, go to, I don't know, a local festival, and boom, you meet someone, maybe you meet the girl, maybe you meet the guy and you get along, and it's pretty easy to see each other because you live like, oh yeah, how far are you from here? 10 minutes by feet. Damn. In the city, if you live close, it is like 20 minutes by bus, 20 minutes by subway, maybe 15 minutes by car. And I really did think that small cities were amazing because everyone knew each other, and so we could make a lot of friends. That is bullshit. This is a stupid idea, because on small towns you don't have all of this privacy you have in big cities. And it's pretty interesting because the bigger the city, the more privacy you have, because there are so many people there that just you, someone else, no one would notice the difference of 2 people in a crowd, maybe even 10 people in the crowd, when you are walking around in the center of the city and there are thousands of people there, tourists, locals, every single one is in the center. And also there is a pretty powerful thing that in small towns sometimes, if you have a very weird taste, if you have a very unique way of thinking and perceiving life, maybe we are 1 in 20,000. In the small villages, in these small towns, not everyone might have the same belief system as we do. But when we live in capitals, when we live in these big cities, when we are surrounded by fucking millions, it is impossible that no one will relate to us. So in these big cities, we can find people that relate to us. We can find people that like the same thing we like. We can find good friends that they have the same interest in as us. On big cities, we can have these amazing, crazy moments where maybe we run from the police, not just becoming criminals, but like just for fun. We can have like these, we can get these scooters and start like running around, and we just start exploring. We can explore the fucking city because this is so giant, this is so fucking huge that we can explore the place we live in. In small towns, what the fuck can we do that is fun in a small town? Watch the cows? Fish? No bro, get out of here. no fun. Of course, that we can't be brain dead when we are meeting new people, even in new cities. And if you don't know how to meet new people, I've already made a video on that. But we need to understand that even in these small towns or these big cities, we need to know how to make friends. But what I'm trying to say is that it's not harder to make friends in cities just because people in the city are colder, right? Like, we are not as nice as small town people. We are not as nice. We are not as warm. We are not as chill. Maybe we get very angry sometimes. Maybe we are so in a rush that we don't really care about anyone. We are just like, holy shit, I need to go to this place and I have a small amount of time, so fuck, I need to rush. But there are tons of things we can do. There are tons of people we can meet. We should use more this. We should appreciate it, and we should use this experience, and we should use this opportunity we have to meet a lot of people. And if you live in a small town, move to a city, bro. And by the way, if you want to learn how to make friends in small towns and big cities, anywhere you are, just click in the first link in the description. Goodbye.